Good evening, Biju sir, Bina ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Good evening,
evening.
everyone.
Good evening. Yeah, how are you, ma'am?
I'm good, sir. I'm good, sir.
Back to Bhopal or in Trivandrum still?
No, I couldn't reach Trivandrum. I was at Delhi all
Okay,
this.
okay. Fine. Biju sir, everything is okay, no?
Sir,
Yes. No,
I
Biju
am
sir.
not able to find the sharing part here. Where is it?
Sharing is there. They are down.
No, it's not seen here.
It is there down. You can come down. There is a green button.
It's not. Can you see my screen? No, no.
No. Not it. Not it.
Ah, it's not. Just a minute. Let me see where it is.
Yeah. Sometimes it may be up, so you can move your cursor. Sometimes the bar may go up.
It has gone up, I think. Let me check. Yes, it is not sure. Let me go for more. Yes, it has gone into more part. Okay.
Okay. So, Vijay sir, please hold on. Madam, you got the button?
Sir, can you see my screen?
Yeah. Coming up. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, hearty welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining. Today, we have an exclusive episode for mathematics by the veteran educator, Dr. Beena Prakash, closely associated with NCERT books in maths. Last year, Madam has contributed to grade 6 and 7. And we are looking forward to some more clarity of the upcoming curriculum. And also, we are expecting curriculum by CBSE based on the NCERT curriculum draft they have provided so far. And we could see that drastic changes are happening across all the subjects in grade 9. So, without much ado, let's put our hands together to welcome Dr. Beena Prakash. Thank you, ma'am, for offering this session. I request Biju sir to introduce Beena ma'am by sharing a video. Biju sir, over to you. Beena ma'am, I am closing your screen so that Biju sir can share.
Sure.
Okay. Biju sir, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to introduce today's session resource person, Dr. Beena Prakash. Dr. Beena Prakash is a distinguished mathematics educator whose career reflects a deep commitment to advancing mathematics education in India. As Senior PGT in Mathematics and Director of the APJ Abdul Kalam Council of Young, Madhya Pradesh, she has nurtured innovation and inspired young learners. Her contributions to curriculum development are notable, having served on the NCERT textbook team for classes 6 and 7 and helped define secondary learning objectives. She has also played a key role in the National Achievement Survey and remains an active member of AIMTA and DMT. Since 2019, Dr. Prakash has championed digital and blended learning under the PM eVidya initiative, conducting classes and training programs for CBSE teachers nationwide. A certified GeoGebra trainer, she empowers educators and students with dynamic mathematical tools. Her excellence has been recognized with the Best Teacher Award in CDS Junagadh 2024. She has presented research at NERI Shillong and continues to lead an evaluation as head evaluator for CBSE board examinations. Dr. Prakash's dedication to academic integrity and innovation has left a lasting impact on mathematics education. Hearty welcome, Dr. Beena. Please proceed. The stage is yours.
Yes, Beena ma'am, over to you. You can share now.
Thank you, sir. And thanks for the introduction.
Welcome, ma'am. Thank you.
So let's start the decoding of the curriculum. The screen is visible, no? I think.
Yes, 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 very well, very well.
So it's a secondary, NCERT secondary, just a minute, looking for, secondary curriculum, grade 9 mathematics. We'll be navigating the vision, goals, and learning standards. Now, this curriculum I went through. I went through the curriculum and I tried to decode it the way I have understood. Still that. Yes. So let's start. Now, before I start again, as I said, I went through the curriculum and I tried to decode it. So I would like all the educators also to listen to me first, that's fine. But you all must have gone through the curriculum. So if you find there is something different, let's take it as a platform to discuss the things rather than I sharing my view. I think Salam sir, you'll be there to moderate us, and Biju sir, you're all there. We all can moderate each other. The understanding that I have, I am sharing. What others have understood, we should be sharing it. So that's what I am expecting from this session. So before we start, let's understand the mathematics. To understand the mathematics, let's see this part. Mathematics is not merely a subject of numbers, but a systematic way of thinking that develops reasoning, logical analysis, and problem-solving ability. I think everybody will agree to it. The decoding of the curriculum is taking the help of this Bloom's taxonomy, competency-based learning, and the assessment strategy. In all, we have seen certain changes. So we need to understand how it has been changed. What changes are we going to have? Now, before we go ahead, can you look around in your rooms and find out certain things that is connected to mathematics? Can we look around and look for examples that we see which is connected to mathematics? All educators, please, can you share the things that you can see around in your room, around you, not maybe traveling. So wherever you are, can you see anything that is connected to mathematics? Sir, I'm not able to see the
Yeah,
chat.
Janvi Joshi says various shapes and 3D objects.
Things that you see around you.
Yeah,
That if
Tulsi
you're in a
mentions
room,
table, chair,
yes, that's what I'm
television,
asking for.
television,
Whatever
window,
objects you are seeing, whatever you can see around you, that's what I'm asking.
box.
So, as sir said, table, chair, what do we see in it? We see the shapes, isn't it?
Shapes.
So the shapes and all, these are things that is discussed as mathematics. Window frames, I've taken up some examples from the room. There's a clock in my room. I have my mobile with me. Everything, whatever we see around is somewhere or the other connected to mathematics. So don't we feel that mathematics is embedded in everyday life?
Definitely, ma'am.
So before we go ahead, I'm just following what the curriculum has given. So it has started with the nature of mathematics. Mathematics as a universal language. There is this time also there's some glitch in this cursor. Can you see the cursor? Is the cursor seen?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So mathematics is the universal language. What does this mean? Universal language. What do we understand by this statement, universal language? Because actually it uses logic and reasoning. That's true. But the logic that we use, the reasoning that we use, do you think the person sitting anywhere else, that is across, I think we are nearly 160 participant, I think, more than that. So whatever we have seen, like the table, the chair that is seen in our rooms, we could connect it to the shape, the pattern that we have in our flooring, we could connect it to certain pattern. So do you think that everybody, all participants have a different thinking part in it? Isn't it that all are thinking alike? So whether I'm sitting in Bhopal or you in Trivandrum, wherever it is, all have the same thought. So what does it say? That it's a language which is universally used, though through the logic or the reasoning, and it is understood by everyone. So that is why it is known as the universal language. Now the question is, why is mathematics learned? What it means to think mathematically, how it shapes every dimension of human understanding and progress. All this is very clearly taken up in the curriculum. This is definitely a language of logic and reasoning, which has independent culture and geography. Wherever it is, it's the same thing. The patterns, numbers, and all mean the same to everyone. The next thing that they have discussed is they have taken mathematics in real life. To start with, everyday decision that we make. How mathematical reasoning helps in making informed choices. How does this reasoning help us? I'll just give an example. Like I have a train, suppose at 10 at night, and I have to reach to a station which is almost 20 kilometers from my place. And I know my place very nicely. I know this is the time where I'll be facing heavy traffic. So what all factors I have to take in mind to make sure that I reach the station on time and I don't miss my train? What are the factors that I'll be taking? Isn't it the distance? Isn't it the speed that we are going to go for? And as we see there's a congestion in the road, we find that we cannot increase the speed. Are they not decisions which are connected to mathematical reasoning? So everyday decision that we make, anything from household, whatever we have in our thing, to the business that we have, every decision has some or the other mathematical connection. The structures that you see around, that is engineering structures, mathematical principles are behind those structures. The shapes that we need to have, why should we go in for those shapes? All those things are that is all related to mathematics. The presence of balance and harmony in nature patterns. Digital technology, that is in creating an operating digital thing. So what it says is all basic rules and proven ideas are the heart of mathematics. Everything that we go through has a logic. They are solving problems which actually requires certain creativity and innovations. So they all are in our daily life. Now this is the foundation. It's actually foundation. The next thing that they have taken up is the foundation. It is based on the competency-based education, aligning the curriculum with educational standards that focuses on skills, attitude, and the knowledge. It is interconnected. It is connected to all the other subjects. It has reasoning and abstraction. Developing students, the curriculum that this frame will help definitely help the students to develop the ability to think logically, to understand the abstract concepts. Like in the 6th class, number system was introduced, and slowly till 8th class, in the middle section, they have taken up the abstract, that number thing that they have concretized it with the help of the expressions that have they learned. So we'll go further in this secondary part. Real life solving problem, equipping students with the skills to apply mathematical knowledge for the practical situations. So these things are the foundations of the mathematics. It's a foundation for problem solving. Let me shift. Yes. Now, mathematics is ultimate problem-solving toolkit. Its methods train students to break complex challenges into manageable steps, identify structure within chaos, and develop systematic, replicable strategies for finding the solution. The curriculum is so framed that it will definitely train the students to break up all those complex challenges they come across. And they will be able to identify the steps that is required to take it further to develop a systematic and replicable strategies. So the objective of our session will be to decode the curriculum, align it with the Bloom's taxonomy, design competency-based assessment, and integrate with the interactive learning strategies. Let's discuss about the nature of the mathematics. Mathematics is actually logical as well as creative. Logical, it's definitely built on rules and proofs, requires imaginations and innovations, models the real world phenomena, predicts outcomes, and optimizes the solutions. So here you can see the structure. This is logical and this is creative. And the intersection of two has mathematics. Logic, the proofs, the axioms, deduction, and precision. Creativity, to have the pattern, recognition, conjecture, inventions, and the mathematical part that we have requires both this real logic as well as the creative. So it actually deals with the abstract ideas, that is numbers, shapes, and equations, which are not physical things, but can be represented, understood through this logical and creative idea. The key focus that is shown in this curriculum is the bringing in of Indian knowledge system, integration of Vedic mathematics, and bringing in the contributions of the ancient Indian mathematicians. The learning also is focusing on the activity-based learning, that is using puzzles, games, and manipulatives to foster conceptual understanding. And there is a shift in the assessment, focusing on reasoning and understanding over procedural recall, with exams held twice a year to reduce the stress. There is a big change in the assessment also, which is given in the curriculum. As such, it has not come out, but we'll be discussing that. Anybody has anything else to speak about it, we'll discuss on it. So the NCERT curriculum is grounded with a clear vision of what mathematics education should achieve. Beyond content knowledge, the curriculum aims to develop mathematically literate, confident, and capable young minds who can engage with mathematical ideas and apply them meaningfully throughout their lives. That is what the curriculum is saying. The aims of mathematical education, it extends well beyond the computational skill. Most of them, apart from mathematics teachers, they all believe that mathematics is something based on only calculation and calculation and calculation. But it is not like that. It's beyond the computational skill. The NCERT framework envisions mathematics classroom as spaces where students can develop the habits of mind that characterizes their expert mathematic thinkers. They can think further mathematically. Hence, it is helping to develop logical and analytical thinking. It is structured reasoning. The logical analytical thinking is actually structured reasoning, catering to the critical analysis, deductive and inductive logic, systematically solving the problems that they come across. It is also promoting problem-solving skills. How? How is it promoting the problem-solving skills? By recognizing the patterns, analyzing the diverse problems, and applying the multiple strategies to actually solve the diverse problem that is existing in it. Now, mathematical communication. It is stressing on the mathematical communication. Now, what does this mathematical communication stands for? It is expressing mathematical ideas using proper terminology. They should be able to translate a language into mathematical statements using terminologies, proper symbols. They can also express it through graphs and visual representations. Then it has said that it's recommending on the different learning approaches. The process of learning of mathematics is much about understanding the concept, as it is more of applying it. How effectively you can apply it, it depends upon its understanding part. So the conceptual clarity comes first. It focuses on why before how. It believes in active participations of every child. And the learning should always be inquiry-based. It is expressing through visual representation. That is seeing mathematics. Seeing mathematics is actually representation of certain abstract concepts visually that will help students to understand certain facts, and they're able to translate those ideas, and they're able to think around them spatially and connect it logically. So the graphs, diagrams, and models and the geometrical constructions they are all the visual representations. Collaborative and scaffolded learning, that is building knowledge gradually with peer discussion, collaborative problem solving, concept progression from simple. That is, if you look for the collaborative, group discussions will always help in fostering the critical thinking among the group, and they're able to share it so that they can communicate with each other to express their thoughts, and the others can understand and thus can progress from very simple to a complex solution. Integration of technology, definitely enhancing mathematical exploration. They can use dynamic geometry. There are so many other things that is all written in this curriculum. All the softwares that is there can be used up, the graphing tools, digital stimulations. Interdisciplinarity in mathematics. Mathematics across discipline. That is, mathematics does not exist in isolation. The NCERT curriculum explicitly recognizes and leverages the deep connection between mathematics and other disciplines, creating richer and more meaningful learning experiences, thus preparing students to tackle the genuinely complex multidimensional challenges of the modern world. So it is seen that how other subjects are connected to mathematics. Science, we have equations, the data analysis, measurements, all connected to mathematics. Technology, the algorithms are prepared for coding, computational engineering, the designs. Arts, the symmetry, the pattern, the perspective that we see, they are all mathematical, logical part. Social study, science, and the language. Every subject is connected to mathematics. The curriculum has also given a very important part to the practice. That's place of practice in mathematics. It has stressed very clearly how should we go ahead for the practice. Practice is indispensable in mathematics, but the nature of practice matters enormously. The NCERT curriculum emphasizes purposeful, thoughtful practice that builds genuine understanding and flexible skill rather than the mindless repetition that produces fragile context-dependent performance. What it emphasizes is how should we go in for the practices. The reinforcement of concept. How frequently we should reinforce the concept. The procedural fluency. Exposure to varied problem type. Now, reinforcement of concept. What it means is with meaningful practice, learning becomes stronger, faster, and more confident, enabling students to apply more ideas easily in different situations. Now, how do we reinforce this concept? This is We keep on practicing the things, and periodically we take up. Like in unit tests, we have whatever we have taken up in the unit test. After the unit test, we go in for the next exam, that is half-yearly exam. So isn't it the practice of the same thing repeated? So it is repeatedly, we are reinforcing the concept. Then we have the procedural fluency. When students get quick and accurate at basic tasks like finding terms in a sequence, that's a topic that we have in 9th class, or spotting certain patterns to take up the solution, they don't have they don't have to think too hard, hence can focus on solving complex questions. Problem solving ability. Practicing different and unusual problems helps students. It should be unusual problem, not all the time related to the thing. They should be given different types of problems related to the topic, which is connecting different topics. Think that will help students think more flexibly. That allows them to use what they have learned in new and unfamiliar setting. So that is what competency-based education is. It is also stressing on quality over quantity. Solving 3 to 5 well-chosen, slightly challenging questions is not enough. It should be, 3 to 5 well-chosen but challenging questions will definitely help students to understand than taking up the same questions repeatedly. So good math practice is about thinking carefully and reflecting, not just solving many problems. The next thing they have stressed is the error analysis. We need to identify the type of error. Is it procedural error or the conceptual error? Understand the underlying misconception. Then reconstruct correct understanding. Apply the corrected approach to the new problems. Spaced practice and retention. Revisit, as I said before, when you take up a topic for the first term, we do repeat that for the half-yearly. And then for the next term, we again take up for another topic on final exam. Before final exam, we go through all the topics again and again. So regularly, if this concept is taken up throughout the year regularly, definitely the children will be able to retain it. And we should be focusing on different types of problems rather than going for the same type. Focus on deep understanding and not surface repetition. So these were the things that was taken up in this as a part of the curriculum. Now they have stressed on the learning standard as per the National Curriculum Framework for Secondary Education. The curricular goals and competency. The National Curriculum Framework for Schools Education articulates a clear curricular goals and competencies for secondary mathematics. These form the backbone of grade 9 NCERT curriculum, providing the conceptual framework within which all themes are situated. The 11 curricular goals of mathematics according to NCF secondary education is the curricular goals are given the first column, then the core focus, and then how it's aligned to the Bloom's taxonomy. That is also like was first curricular goal is number system. The focus is this number system. It is aligned to remember. We start with numbers. Actually, it is very, very clearly. I'll just show you. Can you see the screen? I've changed the screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Extract.
Learning
I've taken up.
standards.
Yes, I've taken it from the curriculum, secondary curriculum only. So the learning standard, they have very, very clearly and everything is very minutely explained. How the first curriculum goal, which is understanding the numbers. It starts from natural number, whole numbers, integers, rational numbers, all which they have done in the lower middle class. And how they have to develop these numbers to a higher level, that is, they are coming to the real numbers to understand the fact that there are certain numbers which belong to the category of rational numbers, irrational numbers. Now, what's the difference between rational and irrational numbers? That helps them to understand the competencies. So that this is very, very clearly given in the learning standards of the curriculum. Very minutely, we all need to go through it to understand what all things has been, how this has been taken up. The second one is proof and logic. which is based on analysis and evaluation of Bloom's alignment. Then the algebraic modeling. Again, the Bloom's alignment is analysis and creation.
Madam, can you maximize the screen? Slide
Sorry,
show.
yes. Just a minute. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm just trying to take up
Yeah,
that
yeah.
also.
Yes,
Just a minute. It's okay now, sir?
yes.
So each curriculum goals, there are 11 curriculum goals. Each has its own core focus. So everything is very, very clearly as I've shown it. And it also is aligned to the Bloom's taxonomy. So we have actually now been given certain things where we now can very easily take up the things and align accordingly and create the questions, because I think most of you have gone through the last like 6, 7, 8 textbook. You have seen the change in the textbook itself, isn't it? There is a change, that a paradigm shift is seen in it. Usually the textbook had the type of textbook that was there was the textbook where we had the content. Then based on this content, there was some exercise which, or solved examples, then the exercise which had certain number of questions. So we usually gave a short information about the content, and we used to start with the exercise questions. But when you go through the NCERT textbook of 6th class, Ganit Prakash, 6th class, 7th class, and 8th class, you will find a change in it. Instead of exercise, they are given it as figure it out. That means we have to figure out how many more questions are to be created. The same thing will be seen in the 9th class textbook also. So since we have been given this framework, that is, it's been aligned to this Bloom's taxonomy, so we can very easily create those questions based on what we have in the textbook. Okay. So another thing that is to be noticed is, when you look at this Bloom's alignment, we notice that, as we all are aware, there are 6 steps, and here only very few this curriculum goals deals with the lowest part, that is remember. Understand also is at very few places. The race, it starts actually with applying analysis, that is, it is actually based on higher order thinking. So we have to take our students to that level. It is not that we can still be in, that is middle school to secondary school. That's the transition that is seen in this. That is, all the alignment is based on application, analysis, evaluation, and at places creation also. Creation is the highest level. That means it's a very higher order questions. So we'll have to create the questions based on this. The themes that we've seen is, each theme develops specific mathematical concept and skills while contributing to the broader curriculum goals and competencies of the. Now, as till last year, the textbook, even the textbook that is there, we have not got the new textbook. So the textbook that is there has 12 chapters. Now we see there's a change in that. It has changed to 15 chapters. There are 15 themes. So of these 15 themes, 6 ones, that different colors you can see, this 3 has been introduced this year. The rest all is the continuation of what we discussed. But in it, the topics may be same, but there are so many changes that is seen in it. So those things will be understanding. We'll be taking up that also. Now, before that, I've just taken up the gist of the different curricular goals. That's like the first one, from 1 to 3, actually deals with number system and algebraic thinking. Here, real numbers and its properties are considered. Different algebraic identities are there, and modeling contextual problems based on these things. Then quadratic formula, where we have the Brahmagupta formula, that is Indian knowledge has been promoted here. And number system, number operations, developing fluency in all the 6 basic operations. It has been observed that the children are not having that fluency in the basic operations. So they'll be trained to take up all these 6 basic operations so that they are able to take things higher next level. Then algebraic thing, that is identifying the pattern, describing rules, representing. So next is the geometry and the coordinate geometry part, where visual and applied geometry is there. Euclid's axiom, postulates, congruence theorem, circle theorem, coordinate geometry, all are discussed in this. Here also, geometry, describing, classifying, analyzing the properties of 2D, 3D, including congruence and similarity, developing geometrical reasoning, constructing proofs, and understanding axiomatic structure. Spatial understanding, that is understanding the location, movement, and mapping. Then 6 and 7 deals with measurements and data analysis, that is area, volume. Then the axiomatic structure that we have is understanding the mathematical proofs, logical reasoning, construction, proof without words, modeling of computational thinking. Then we have global. This is one very important part that has been taken up in the text content, that is contribution of Indian mathematicians. Euclid's axiomatic approach is there, that is global as well as Indian. Aryabhat, Brahmagupta, Madhava of Sangrama, that is the infinite series for pi. And then cross, that is how it is connected to other subject. All this is clearly explained, and that's how the curriculum has been developed based on the competencies. They have divided into themes, key concept, and the learning outcome. Here again, I'll discuss it through the curriculum that has been given. That is how they have taken up each theme. Every theme, development of competency. Can you see this, sir? Is it visible? Do I need to? I think it's okay, no? The development of competencies, that is the first theme, that is everything is very clearly mentioned. The coordinate geometry part, it requires 4 hours. And the key concept that has been discussed in this is the history of the coordinate geometry, the 2D Cartesian coordinate system, distance between 2 points, bit point formula. These things were not, actually these are the part which is not there in the present curriculum. This has been introduced. As I said, topics are new, but in certain topics, certain new things have been introduced. For example, this is the first theme that has been taken up, where distance between 2 points, midpoint distance formula, all this has been taken up. And it is expected that the learning outcomes, the students will be able to specify locations and position of one point relative to the other point. They will be able to represent a floor plan on grid using coordinates, compute the distance between 2 points, determine whether the 3 points lie in the same. So these are the ways. This is how the curriculum has been prepared. Every theme has its own key concept and how it is, the whatever learning outcome is expected, that is given along with the curriculum goals and the competencies that is attached to it. You can see this by the end of this theme. Sorry, just a minute. By the end of this theme, the relevant curriculum goals along with the competency is mentioned in it. So we can see how minutely, how with great effort this curriculum has been prepared. And it has been made easy for us. We teachers, we need to just go through it, and it will be easy for us to prepare the lesson plan also, because we have everything in front of us. So accordingly, we have to take up the things in our classrooms. So for each topic, introduction to polynomials, 8 hours of time has to be given. What all we have, like polynomials, if you remember, the information was there, degree problem, we have the polynomial, all those were there. But beyond that, we have, it is connected to linear polynomial and its application, exploring, they have specified, this is specified only for linear polynomial. How it's, that is exploring linear patterns, modeling linear growth and linear decay, and visualizing the linear relationship, that is using this formula, that is y is equal to ax plus b. So they will be able to identify patterns in linear relationship. They'll be able to identify slope. This word was not introduced. Now we have to introduce it. So how it has to be introduced? All again here, what are the relevant curricular goals and what are the competencies? It is mentioned here. So likewise, all the 15 themes have been very carefully planned and prepared. We just need to follow the system to take the things in a very easy way, but make sure that we are able to provide the that is whatever is the outcome that we are able to provide it. Then comes the assessment part. The assessment, diagnostic assessment, that is identifying the prior knowledge to go ahead with then the formative assessment, the assessment part, summative assessment, evaluate achievement. Okay. Now here again, in accordance with the National Educational Policy, the National Curriculum Framework for School Education, assessment at secondary stage, that is grade 9, shall be based on competency-based. It shall be based on competency-based, learner-centric, and flexible, with provision for 2 levels of assessment to understand, to address that learner diversity, interest, and aspiration. This is something new that has been taken up in the curriculum, but the circulars we have not received, but I'm discussing it so that we are aware of it. It says that there'll be 2 levels of assessments. As per NEP 20, perspective assessment in mathematics at this stage shall be conducted at 2 levels. That is very important thing. The first level is known as proficiency level, which is known as mandatory, which will be mandatory for all students. The proficiency level assesses essential competencies expected of all learners, including conceptual understanding. We'll have to take care of all learners. All learners has a broader spectrum in it. We have different types of learners. Conceptual understanding, application of knowledge in familiar and real life context. Procedural fluency and foundational reasoning. That is what is proficiency level. All students shall appear in the proficiency level assessment. Performance at this level shall be reflected in the marks obtained and recorded in the mark sheet. Then comes the advanced level, which is intended for learners who would like to demonstrate deeper interest, aptitude, or readiness in a subject. It assesses multi-concept integration, application in unfamiliar and complex, that is, it is going towards a very higher order, strategic competency, adaptive reasoning, and productive dispositions. Performance, this is another important thing. Performance at the advanced level shall be recognized separately as per the assessment policy of the concerned examining body. Now, for this, the question paper, again, this is what is written in the curriculum. I have taken up it from the curriculum only. So let me show it, because that's what is written in the curriculum regarding the assessment. I think most of us have, almost everybody must have gone through the curriculum. So that's what is said. The information as such, see, elements of assessment in mathematics, formation, end of task. These are different types of written examination, summative assessment, open and proficiency level, advanced level, examination structure of 2 levels. The question paper with 100 marks. That's what it says. The question paper will be from 100 marks. Standard examination to assess conceptual understanding, application of concept in real life, procedural fluency, etc. All students will attempt 100 marks standard examination. Marks obtained in this exam will appear in the mark sheet. The difficulty of the questions in this exam would be distributed as easy 25%, medium 50%, and difficult 25%. Then for advanced, interested students will take up the optional advanced level examination, assessment of multi-concept integration, application of concept in unknown scenarios, strategic competency, adaptive reasoning, these are all discussed. Who clear advanced level will have the mention along with the percentile obtained in the advanced examination. If the student attends an advanced level examination and does not clear it, it is not to be mentioned in the certificate. The difficulty of the question in this examination would be distributed as easy is 15%, medium 25%, and difficult is 60%. So that's what is a change that is seen in the curriculum. So let's expect more information from the CBSE so that we can understand it. And I think this part, up to this part, is there anything to be discussed upon?
Madam,
Anybody would?
yes. We were talking about advanced level. So that means currently we have basic and standard. So is it
Yes.
going to be standard and advanced?
See, as such, this is the information from the curriculum. We haven't got the name as standard and basic in it. But in the beginning, they have said that there will be two levels of two examinations. But they have not mentioned in the beginning, if you see the first or second slide, it is saying that they have two examinations for that to remove the stress of the child. But here they are mentioning two levels of examination, proficiency and advanced. Does it mean the standard or basic? That has not been mentioned. Can anybody understand this and say it in a different way? We'll discuss it. Because that's what my understanding is. They have not given the term standard or basic.
Yeah, there has been speculations about standard and advanced levels coming up. So this may be an indication. Let's wait for further clarity from.
Yes, but we need to prepare ourselves because that's what the next thing they had given. Just a minute. The role of textbook and teachers. That's also they have given. That is textbook developed will be for designing to support both the levels of assessment. That's how the textbook will be designed. All core content examples and exercises in each theme will address the proficiency and advanced level competency. It will ensure learning opportunities for all students and will encourage learners to progress at their own pace. Provide recognition to students with advanced aptitude without imposing additional burden. That's okay. Even the report card will also be integrated for formative assessment, incorporate self-assessment and peer assessment. Questions can be at different levels, starting with basic understanding of concept, development of various capacities, values, interdisciplinary linkages, application. These things are okay, fine. The framework supports holistic development while maintaining academic rigor and alignment with the national curriculum. The teachers shall transact the textbook, ensuring that at least grade level competencies are achieved by the learner. But enrichment tasks to be introduced after students have attained the conceptual clarity at proficiency level. For this advanced level, we teachers have to prepare ourselves. If this is going to come, we'll have to prepare because we need to now take up things for advanced level also in the same classroom with the same type of children, where we should not be making the rest of the children as giving a burden for the rest of the children. At the same time, they'll be taking it happily. So students opting for advanced level should be provided with additional academic support through guided discussion, independent projects, analytical writing, or problem solving tasks. Use supplementary resources. This is very important. Use supplementary resources. So maybe we are expecting exemplar also. So we'll have to go through the exemplar that has been provided along with the NCERT textbook so that we can help them to prepare for the advanced. And along with that, digital content and reference materials is also to be shared with them so that they can take up and we can help them out. So the curriculum outcome is the expected learner development is they will be the logical thinker, they'll be confident problem solver, mathematical communicator, computationally competent, and they will be interdisciplinary explorer also. So for mathematics for life, not just a subject knowledge, it's a way, that is what I could conclude from the whole thing. It's a way of thinking, a tool for nation building, foundation for innovation and research. So do we have these things as the takeaway? That is, do we have our conceptual clarity? Logical reasoning, interactive pedagogy will be introduced, competency-based assessments. We'll have to reflect on this question: how can we transform our mathematics classroom into a thinking classroom? Thank you, sir. Let's keep this platform open now for any sort of discussion.
Yes, thank you so much. That was the, very short summary of the curriculum. And the madam has brought out the important, and the relevant points which we have to deal with in transacting the curriculum in the classrooms. And many questions remain, because we need to get circular from CBSE, then only
Yes.
we will be able to, give proper answers. Soon, discussion is going on, meeting is going on. Within a week, we will be able to get the curriculum and keep checking the CBSE website. And with regard to this curriculum, the textbook and all, definitely, in April, we can expect the textbook.
Yes, it is expected to come by
First
the
week
mid
of,
of April.
yes, okay. First week or second week of April.
Yes.
Till then, if any classes, have started, then you can you go ahead with the old textbook. No issue. It
We
is,
should not have any problem with taking up the classes
yes,
because our curriculum has very clearly framed what all has to be taught in the class.
yeah. So, Madam has pinpointed the concepts which we have to deal with in grade 9. So, based on the old textbooks, these concepts you can map and you can start teaching. We should not be, waiting simply for the new textbooks to come. It is
Yes.
all in your hands to help the students, but make sure that, competency based and the proficiency of, their level of understanding is ensured. So, participants, there are a few questions that I think we have taken up in the chat box, and further questions we can take. If you raise your hands, we can unmute you, and you will be able to ask directly to our resource person. Please raise your hands. Hope we have made some kind of clarity to the, curriculum document draft. We can call it curriculum draft, which NCERT has given.
Yes.
And with regard to advanced and basic and all, we have to wait. We cannot make any comment now.
Yes,
Unless and until
definitely.
we get a circular or
Yes.
authentic circular from CBSE. And Nagaveni Raghavendra, you can ask. Please unmute.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, I'm Nagvini from Royal Concord International School, Chamrajpet, Bangalore. The session was very useful actually for us, but I have one question. While explaining, you have told the exam will be, students will be writing for 100 marks. So 100 marks will be written. It will not be like 80 plus 20. So that question I have.
That part, can you read this? It is from the curriculum only. This is an extract from the curriculum. A question paper with 100 marks standard examination to assess computational understanding, application concept, and procedural fluency. So, conceptual understanding, application concept, actually we can divide it. We can think of dividing it into two parts as 80 and 20, but it is not mentioned here. That part, I don't think it will go away, but it is going to, because all thing has to be taken into consideration, isn't it? So I think that will remain there.
At the same time, it emphasized the, continual or what do you call, assessment.
Yes, continuous assessment will be there.
Yeah.
That part is not, we are not going to go away with that. It will remain. So those part, so that 100 marks means 80 plus 20. That's what my understanding is. Is anybody else who has understood the same way, or something else has been?
No, it can be like, out of 100% of the questions,
Yes.
many percentage for
Okay, that is, it will remain as 80 and 20, and it's 100% estimate. Yes,
Yes.
that also can be understood that way.
Yeah.
Yes.
So clarity will be there when the assessment pattern will be, issued by CBSE. So till then, we don't have to be panic.
No.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can enhance the competency of the children with lots of, activities. Because it is emphasizing the activity, student-centered education, logical thinking, and all.
They have emphasized on activity-based, inquiry-based learning.
Correct. Yes, Bindu Srinivas, you can ask. Unmute, please.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening.
Good evening.
My doubt is not related to the marks 100 and 180 plus 20. This is related to the some grade 10 topics have been introduced to grade 9. Correct, like a area related to circles or pair of linear equation to variables, like that many concepts from grade 10 has been introduced to grade 9 as per the new syllabus. So my question is, are we continuing teaching that topics in grade 10 as well?
Yes,
Since
we
it,
will have to, because
yeah,
there is no change in level 10th class.
okay, the same topics will continue in grade 9
Textbook of
and 10
10th
as well.
class will go ahead. We'll go ahead with the
Okay,
textbook and
there
see.
is no change. So
No
even
change.
though it is
No.
introduced in grade
No,
9, we
that
will
is
continue teaching in grade 10 as well, right,
those
ma'am?
children who are there in 10th class now have come through with this ninth, old syllabus of ninth. No, it is for the
Okay.
students who will be going to 10th in the next academic session, that is 27,
Okay.
28.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, 27, 28, there will be a revamping of the textbook for grade 10.
Yes,
So this new curriculum for grade 10 will be there next year for
next year.
27, 28.
Okay. Fine, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else? Any more questions? Yes, Jimsi Joshi. You can unmute.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir. We have got a message saying that we have open book test. So how is that going to be implemented?
Yeah, OT, open textbook assessment. So that is a proposal. Earlier it was it was a practice some 20 years back. It was existing OTBA, and they discarded it. And still, now again they are thinking of implementing it. We can expect it from grade 9 this year. So we have to wait and see, ma'am. This is a proposal, OTBA. Am I right, Veena, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can accept because there was actually a pilot project for this open textbook also. So it's not been discussed in open. So let's see what all changes we are going to. Let's focus only on the curriculum part now. Whatever changes is there will be a part of our system. So by the time we get those things, we'll be able to handle it, because now let's focus more on curriculum, because we have seen that there's a change in the themes. Previously, there was only 12 chapters. Now it has changed to 15 chapters. New chapters has been introduced. As ma'am has said, that parts which has been taken up in 10th has been brought to 9. But it's not that it will be so elaborately discussed. Everything is very clearly, it is very clearly saying that not many things elaborately as it is. We are going for the interactive sessions through so that means the 80 and 20 part will remain. That is because of the active learning, participation and inquiry-based learning will continue.
Right. Because then only you can, ensure the proficiency and, continuous assessment of the children. Well, any more questions, any more participants? You can utilize the time by asking, or if anybody has any more, points to be added, you can raise your hands and you can contribute. Dear participants, certificate link, feedback link is shared in the chat box. You can save it. It is a permanent link for all the sessions. You can save it and use. Hope things are almost clear with, in terms of the concepts that is, given, drafted in the curriculum, suggested by or released by NCERT. So participants, teachers can go through it once again. This video will be shared tomorrow, will be available on YouTube. You can, watch again, and you can take it as a reference. Because going through the curriculum and watching this video or listening to, will be much more, will give us much more clarity. Anyway, let's get prepared with the concepts that is offered by or proposed by NCERT. Hope no more questions from the participants. If everything is okay, then we can wind up. Miss Geeta would like to ask anything. We can unmute you.
Namaste, sir. Namaste, ma'am.
Yeah.
Sir, I would like to ask, like, if it is going to change, like, can I get, I'm talking about the textbook. So, is there any changes will be there in the textbook, sir?
Yeah, new textbook is coming up, no? Grade 9.
That is what, like, when it is going to be launched and when we are going to.
We have to wait a
get it.
couple of weeks, like more than 2 weeks. Am I right now?
Maybe in the second week of April.
Right.
Okay. One more thing, that NCERT exemplar also need to be, taught according to this. Is it mandatory, ma'am?
We need to, only then we can go in for the competency based assessment. Questions are based on that. We have seen in the question papers how important is the exemplar. That's how we are going through the variety of problems. So along with textbook, do go through the exemplar. Exemplar has very good questions.
Hope things are clear with, Geeta ma'am for asking. Moving to Mr. Mohammed. Mr. Mohammed, you can unmute and ask.
I want to ask you a question because some of the private authors have already published some books and they are available in different math teachers group. Will we be able to follow that book for the time being before the authentic book from the CBSE comes in?
See, you have to make sure that you are transacting the curriculum, drafted by NCERT. Whichever materials you use, no issue.
Yeah, these authors are of high repute and they claim that this is perfectly in sync with CBSE, the latest NEP and all.
We can always compare it. No? We have our curriculum with us. We can
Okay,
compare it.
exactly.
And you find it,
Okay.
then it's okay. Can we go and go ahead?
Because I'm from Abu Dhabi, because here the academic year begins from 23rd.
Early.
That's from
Yes.
coming Monday. Yeah, early. So 2 or 3 weeks without a book, that too online for the time being. Online classes will be going at a faster pace. So without textbook, it will be a bit difficult.
No,
So my
actually,
question,
we have
if
our curriculum. No, we know what is to be taught. They have
yeah,
very
exactly.
clearly explained it, how it should be taken up, what the topic is, theme is there, and according to the theme, they have given the learning outcomes also. So we prepare ourselves based on that, and by the time we take up few topics which is already there in the existing books, that will cover up when we get the new books, we can go ahead, we can have a change in the topic themes for the different exams. Why should we always go for this 1, 2, 3 chapters? We can always take up the chapters which themes which we are already which the book has, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
Also, do mathematics teachers use textbooks?
Yes, sir. Mathematics teachers should be using the NCERT textbook as well as the exemplar first. Then should go for any refreshers or
Okay.
whatever.
If the concepts are, mentioned, we can go for any material. We have to make sure that the learning outcomes are as explained or expected are met.
Yes.
Yeah. And Madam has shown the learning outcomes, and these are the, things you have to achieve based on the Bloom's taxonomy. Right. So we can keep those things in mind, and you can prepare, the content, the materials. There are plenty of, materials available. Now you can use AI also, put a question with a, in terms of a concept, you will get materials. Everything is
And in the
available.
curriculum also it is saying the place for practice. There also that's mentioning that we need to go through different problems. And that is possible when you have different types of books.
Yeah. Only thing is you have to compare, map it with the curriculum.
Yes, it should be
content.
mapped
Yeah.
first.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. And Ms. Shobha, you can ask. You can unmute. Shobha C.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Ma'am, as you were discussing with the curriculum, you told that it will be like summative assessment type. Will it be
Yes.
like a semester exam pattern or what, ma'am?
That is also not mentioned, ma'am. It is only one exam that has been, as per the curriculum, it says that there'll be an summative exam, semester based and all. We have to wait for the circular from the CBSE.
Okay, ma'am. Okay,
No,
thank you.
For
I
this
think
part, I'm really sorry. I will not be able to say anything regarding it.
no,
What
madam,
assessment?
right now we have summative and formative, no?
Yes, it's not semester based.
Yeah, it's
We
not.
do
Okay.
not have any semester based information.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Shobha. Any more participants? Well, hope things are almost clear. We have to wait for further, authentic information. Let us not rely upon, the information that is, circulated on social media and all.
Yes.
We have to wait for CBSE circular and the curriculum that will be uploaded on the website. We'll take one more question from Ms. Bintu Srinivas. Ms. Bintu, you can unmute and ask.
Yes, sir. One more doubt. The order of the chapters are given starting from coordinate geometry and ending with introduction to trigonometry, ma'am. So the
introduction
order
to
will be same or different?
probability, not
Probability.
trigonometry.
Sorry. Introduction to probability. The order is going to be same or different,
Yes,
ma'am?
yes. That's how the curriculum says, no?
Okay, so we can go ahead with the
Yes.
chapters like
Yes, yes.
in the okay. The same order is going to be, no, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
That's what you're expecting. And that too will be in two parts. One
Okay.
part maybe with 6 or 7 chapters, the other part will be with the remaining chapters.
Okay. So even if you're making the curriculum progression or just if we can go according to the numbering, no?
Yes.
So that is what I just wanted
The
to ask.
first 6, 7, 8, I think. Yes, 8 of them are there in the first part.
No, sixth one is there. There is a change in the sixth one.
No,
Sequence and
the
progression.
theme is changed, but it's there in the
Okay.
first part. That is
Okay.
there in book 1.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Ms.
everyone.
Bintu. Thank you. And madam, thank you so much for your helping the educators, mathematics teachers, and with decoding the curriculum, making it clear the concepts that is to be transacted in the classroom. Thank you so much once again. And Biju sir, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please, you can wind up, sir, please.
So thank you very much, Beena Prakash ma'am, for today's knowledgeful session you have taken, and almost all the mathematics teachers around the globe has taken the advantage and they have understood well, and you have very clearly answered to all their questions, the queries also. So now the teachers, they are equipped with all the relevant things, and especially the exemplar also. We have to be very careful, go accordingly, so that you can have the academic very smoothly, and hope that students also will get score more marks according to their wish. So thank you very much, ma'am. Keep in touch, and
Thank you,
have
sir.
a nice day. Thank you all educators for joining this session. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vijay sir. Thank you, Beena ma'am.
Thank you.
One thing we have to keep in mind that CBSE is slowly pushing towards not marks, but for competency.
Competency.
Yeah. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a good night. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.